Nade to play with. Invested. Bang tries to get the spike down and will succeed. Asuna has 6 HP as things settle into 2s. Bang creeping back around, concerned about the flank, and it's not there. Asuna with the shorty in hand. Do they clear him? Now switching over to precision, and he's dropped. Ear taken off of him. The youngster has to deliver again. Can Bang do it? Spotting the first, not able to steady the shots, and now we know where he is. Woot's on the tap, it's just the thread! He gets melted! As Heretics will steal Bind!
Today we're going to see how Team Heretics took down 100 Thieves, and whilst they destroyed them on Sunset, we're actually going to take a look at Bind. And the reason we're going to take a look at Bind is because if you look at 100 Thieves games throughout the past, they lost today against Team Heretics, but if you just look at, like, everyone was banning Bind against 100 Thieves. No one wants to play them on Bind because they win on Bind. You're just going to get destroyed by them on Bind. Other than this one exception of G2, I mean, if you go through all of stage 1 here, here's another win on Bind against Lev. They win against Loud on another Bind game. They beat NRG, they win on Bind. They lose against Crew, they don't play Bind. Against Cloud9, they play Bind, they win. They play G2, they play Bind, they win. Against Sen week 1, they don't play Bind, they lose. Literally throughout pretty much the entirety of the Americas, if 100 Thieves play Bind, they win the game. How did Heretics manage to beat them on Bind? Well, we're going to take a look at their attack side because I thought they came up with some really good plans. Really, it all starts with this round number 2, which is going to have some themes here of what we are going to do for Team Heretics, right? So you're going to see off the rip here, normally this is a throwaway round, right? For most teams, this is a throwaway round, but we're going to send our Fade Haunt and our Dizzy Flash here. You might have just caught it, but we're going to send Fade Haunt and Dizzy Flash out here towards B-Long, right? Both initiators are out towards B-Long. It's the second round. It's a throwaway round for most teams. Whatever, right? Like, but actually, this is just to drag a rotate across. And you see instantly the reaction from 100 Thieves. You know, oh, we hear both initiators. This is probably going to be a B hit, right? And then Patek actually sees Boostio just here as well. But all of this is very clever because Benji here is one of our 2 sheriffs. Right? So we're trying to get these rotates across here so that we've got a sheriff here and we've got a sheriff here, right? Hopefully you're in one of these angles, and then this is our chance to win the round. We're just hoping that with a sheriff at this point, we can win the round as you rotate away. And that's exactly what happens here as Benji Fishy manages to beat Cryo there with one of the 2 sheriffs they've got. And now the round is open. We've gone for our plan of like, we're going to pressure over one side towards the map, and then we're going to quickly come back the other, and, you know, whilst you're rotating across, and we managed to get the first kill. And now, of course, you're 100 Thieves, you're going to rotate back here, and we're going to end up with 2 on either side here. But of course, for Team Heretics, they have shown pressure here. This guy could be on his own, right? There could still be 4 people out here just waiting, and Benji just so happens to have got this kill. So if you're 100 Thieves, you don't want to over-rotate here. You don't want to go too far too quick because, you know, this could be anything, really, for Team Heretics. But they walk into Shower as well, and now we are just going to group up and do this A-exec, and they are going to manage to win this round.
Quite warmed up yet on this main stage, how we were talking about. Speaking of who is warmed up, I'm Boostio, who, I mean, we all know him as a world champion. He comes ready to play every single day.
It seems like they're going to have to be tested on that, whether or not they're ready to hold the site. As 100 Thieves have started to rotate members over, Boo falls. The plan is denied. But now, Asuna trying to get some high ground. Not able to fully clear, but still gets his kill, still gets the damage done.
He's doing that thing again, Doug, where he just shakes his crosshair all over and just seems to obliterate the opposition, but this is really costly.
This is way more expensive than it should have been. For it to come down to a 1v1 in a situation like this, EU has been a hero for 100 Thieves, often unsung. He's going to have to make a big play here. A safe passage has been found. Patek through the TP will be able to get the spike down.
And he's going to know here that EU should be coming from CT because that TP was not hit as well on the counter.
A big moment here for one of the newcomers, one of the fresh faces on this squad.
It's just going to be so hard for EU to have to clear out everything. That's why you see him creeping up elbow right now. But the timer is just ticking and ticking.
With 57 HP as well. Doesn't really have time to figure this out. Doesn't really have the health.
I mean, Patek could be literally anywhere for him. It's just a mystery. This eye might be able to get him the info, but it falls just short.
And so Patek's able to stay concealed and wait for his right moment to strike. The tap is a dare to swing.
It's
and
over.
It goes undetected. It goes unchecked. Yeah, Unbelievable. A thrifty thing to start us off like this.
Okay, so a great start there from Team Heretics, but now I want to get to round number 4, because this is really where it all starts, and we see Team Heretics' game plan in full focus. So, start of the round, 100 Thieves are doing this. They have one player sitting in spawn, waiting to go to one direction based off noise on which side it is, right? This is something that they do commonly, and when you think about this as an idea and what this is meant to be good against, Team Heretics were very clever in terms of what was going to happen, because obviously this is good if you're going to just do a fast exec, right? If you're going to do a fast exec, basically this idea says, well, either side that you do a fast exec, we're going to have 3 players. Right, that's what this idea is for. But there is a limitation to this idea, of course, as well, that it means that you only have 4 players pushed up, so it's less likely, not impossible, but less likely that you're gonna play, you know, for some aggro control early on. So this is what Team Heretics' first thing that they do, right, is that they are silent to begin in terms of walking up to those spaces. And you see Asuna, he doesn't know which way to go. So in terms of, you know, walking up to, you know, these kind of areas, we are silent initially on this side. Now, eventually we are going to make noise, and Asuna is going to come across to this side, right? But this is the first thing that was like, okay, they understand what they're doing, because we're just walking up here to kind of, you know, get a bit closer to start, because we know that we can probably do that for free. Right, next thing is we got this Viper Orb here on B, right? So Viper Orb is B long. That almost always is going to mean, obviously, the Viper has to throw this orb at the start of the round, so you know that the Viper is there as well, and that's going to be important for what happens next. But what's also important for what's about to happen next is that Woot has been left alone here somewhat. Right, he's kind of been left here on his own. This is not something you often see. And in a second, he's actually going to throw a boombot down here as well. But then 100 Thieves, now that Asuna is over here and they've made some noise, they're going to go for a reclear, which is something that 100 Thieves do a lot, right? They will like to bait you in, and then as you are baited in, they like to go heavy on you and then, you know, re-aggro on you and go from there. And this time, actually, Asuna has a Razor to do it with as well.
Might be able to do a lot of damage, but if you look at the game plan from Heretics, they're waiting for the proactivity timings of 100 Thieves.
See the Utes will go up. That's confirmation that there's space and Woot satchels away.
He's out of there.
What you just saw there was Team Heretics game plan 101, and we're going to get to phase 2 later on in this round as well. But basically, the plan was we're going to silently walk up to, you know, kind of these first areas and not make any noise. Then we're going to make a bit of noise. This guy's going to come across from spawn. We know that. We're then going to have Woot on his own here, and are coming up here, making some noise, and try and get this aggro reclear out from these guys. And see, are they going to aggro reclear me, right? So out he comes, he's jumping around, he shoots the Dizzy just there. And the reason that we want Woot to do this is because he is the guy who can escape. Makes sense, right? Normally you'd think, like, when I tell you, oh, they're going to hit the A site here, you might be like, oh, but their Razor's on the other side of the map. But that's not the point. The point is, they know that, hey, now there's 3 guys here. We saw a Dizzy Flash. We know that the Viper Orb is here, and obviously the Razor is coming out. There's 3 people on B, sorry. That means there's only 2 people on A. And that means that they're probably not playing super aggro, and we can go and take this site, even if our Raze is on the other side of the map. And this is why it was so clever, because now watch. As soon as that happens, we are sprinting here. Right, we are right up here. Boo's getting ready to smoke. He's just waiting for his team, and they are right in here. And now we're going to do an A exec on a weak site, knowing that we can come and take this A space after surviving the reclear.
He's going to be here to support the anchors of the A site.
The space has been given up. It's UC Utility soaring over the site, but Cryo holding the line, dropping 2. Now EU is left to answer and to deliver. Once more, 3v3. You see the members of 100 Thieves, they're weak. The Nightfall causing problems. They can't hear a damn thing. EU falls. So does Boostio. All of the weight on Bank's shoulders, and it's crippling.
I love the way Heretics play that post plan as well, right? We're very in sync. We understand what's going on. Cryo actually does really well here. As he's getting hit by a nade to get 2 kills, he does incredibly well. But they have both a... You might be like, how did Asuna die to this Brim Molly here? But they have both a Vipe Molly and a Brim Molly in here, ready for this fast flood out. Like, incredible stuff. So Asuna just gets melted instantly. Just instantly dies there. And then we get the Fatal, of course. But watch this. Now, after we Fatal them, we hit 2. We're coming up here, right? And look, we're actually blast packing in this way. We know that they can't hear us. And we're pinching on this guy, right? Look at this. Look at how cool it is. Obviously, they know he's there because of like the fade trail and all of that, so they know that he's in here. But just super, super cool stuff as Benji holds CT for them as well, right? Just, I mean, really, really good stuff from Team Heretics here. Really, really good. And that coordination was needed in this game as well, because 100 Thieves are very good at bind. And so let's take a look at this round, round number 8, where 100 Thieves are going to do a Viper Spit down B long, right? And so now your little plan of like, oh, let's try and get them to rotate and all that. Well, against this Viper Spit, that's probably not going to work. Right, you pretty much know, like, okay, the Viper's going to be here. There's going to be one other guy. We're going to have to fully go out hooker if we want to do that. And there's going to be 3 people towards A. Right, you pretty much know, like, that's what's going to be happening. And so they just decide, okay, we don't want to deal with that. Let's just go away. Right, let's just do our exec on A. And this is where obviously you need to have that kind of coordination in there, because, you know, this isn't like a fancy call or anything like that, you know. And actually a smoke comes in here from 100 Thieves that delays them a bit as well. This isn't a fancy call, but you got to be able to do it in rounds like these, otherwise you have no chance. And again, just the coordination in their exec here though is very good.
See that utility coming out already from EU, and they've got all of the switches primed and ready to go. Heretics want to hit off of this. It's all going to fall onto Woot, the tip of this spear. Oh, he is finally able to settle it as Benji Fishy provides some cover. EU will fall as well, and those have been the 2 big ones so far.
Wow, the timing's so good there from Boo on the lurk, waiting for his teammates to create all that noise.
So yeah, this was just really nice. I particularly love the swing from Boo at the end here. I just think it's so cool. But obviously you see they've got what they need. They wait for that smoke to go down. In goes all of that fade util. You know, up goes the Viper stuff. In comes Woot just here. The Gecko flash is really good. It's actually not even Woot that gets this kill somehow. He then gets this one on EU. I mean, this is the thing, by the way. This is Woot's superpower in this game, is being able to aim at one guy. I mean, he did this multiple times, and then just instantly flick to the right spot and kill someone else. He does this, I mean, it's unbelievable. But then this guy got marked. You can see the cryo's marked here, and just the way that Boo plays this is so good, right? Just waiting, so patient, waits for that fade prowler to come at him, and he knows that then, you know, the timing is just so good where, you know, the fade prowler's coming at him. He turns the other way. We get the kill. And you see that the Viper Molly, you know, that we're trying to delay you with didn't work. Really good from Team Heretics. And then finally we have round number 9, which again is very similar of this, just this overall strategy that Team Heretics are going for, where again you're going to see we are silently walking up just there, right? We're not really showing too much noise. We then throw a Gecko flash out here, thinking that, okay, you know, they're going to rotate off that Gecko flash. We then send this smoke in down long as well. Right now we do have the Viper Orb here from Bang also down B long. But again, you're going to see that we're basically just setting up for this. I mean, you can already tell by the map, right, that like we're leaving this guy on his own. We're actually going to throw a Fade Horn over the top here as well. We've obviously put this Brim Smoke in here. So we're really pretending like, you know, we're sending a lot of people down long, and that this is some kind of, you know, big long play, right? Essentially, we also send the Prowler into hooker here, you know, again, making it feel like, you know, this is going to be a B hit. You see the Haunt goes up here, probably to clear some of these close angles. You know, like we're selling a story here to 100 Thieves of like, you know, we're coming down B long. There are multiple players about to walk up B long. You know, they then send out this boombot as well, right? Bang then has to retreat. You see Woot starts shooting, right? So again, we're really selling this essentially, right? What are we doing in the meantime? We're actually force that grouping up A, and we're ready to do an A hit, right? And again, this matters that this is the raise, because normally you think, oh, well, your raise is where the exec is going to be, right? That's why this works. You know, this is why this works, and it's clever. Again, because this is the guy, as you know, he's blast back in, he's tapping the orb, all that. And again, 100 Thieves, what do? They go for an aggressive reclear, right? Out they go. But guess what? This is the guy that can escape, right? So they go for this full aggro reclear, and look at him. He's gone, right? And now you've used your C's, and you've used your mosh pit, and you've got multiple players staring at this guy, whilst we're about to do an A exec. Right, so it's really, really clever what Team Heretics came up with for this attack side. And as you can see, it really, really worked.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, the site is being hit once more. Heretics just brants in. Yeah, 100 Thieves have some defenses here, but they're only getting bolstered. EU has now rotated. He's joined the scene. Boostio will follow. Every single member crumbles. The kill feed bleeds red. Rians has 3. Bang's left. Again, on the other side of the map, trying to figure out what went wrong.
So there you have it. Team Heretics looking very good. I mean, I could have shown you an absolute stomp on Sunset as well. You know, 13-1. It was a masterclass. And Team Heretics are looking pretty good, because to beat 100 Thieves on bind is an impressive feat.